Do you like to see Alco diesels running the paces on an HO scale model railroad layout? Then this video may be for you. This is Burr Stewart, and welcome to part 107 on my continuing series of model railroad operations videos. In today's video, Brian brought over 3 of his super detailed and weathered engines, and we ran them around on the layout. Now, before we get into the action of this, I wanted to delve in quickly to show you some of the details that Brian puts onto his locomotives, or at least onto the weathering schemes. Here is a picture of the 3 engines on the right, and you'll see that work train behind them in a minute. Here's a close-up of these engines, and you see how they're not too shiny, and they have a lot of interesting details on them. We'll point them out here now. So you have the ACI label on the left. You have some battery box weathering on the right. The trucks, of course, have detailed chains and other features, and it just goes on and on. Here's a shot that Brian took of the trio going across the trestle, a wooden trestle, and then here across a steel trestle. Now let's get into the action. Here we have the trio coming out of the tunnel. It's just north of Everett on my HO scale layout, and crossing the Stillaguamish River Bridge. That tank car, the orange tank car, is one of my favorites. I first saw it on Joe Green's layout in Sequim, Washington, and I eventually found one online. Tim Smith is doing some building of the Lone Star cement in the background there, which is why he has a tub of spackle there on the layout. I should have removed that. This was a work party, play party, where a bunch of people were over and working on the train. I only captured these 2 train movements for you today, but if you want to see more, be sure to check out the rest of the videos in this series. Isn't that a nice shot through a bridge like that? Now this line they're on is climbing up towards Bellingham, so it gives us a chance to do another shot through a bridge. Sorry about the Elmer's glue bottle there. You can see a little bit of the building that Tim is working on in the background there. The first unit is an Alco RS11. The second, I believe, is an FA1, and the third is a Alco C415. If you look back in my videos, you'll see some other great shots of the Alco C415. And I believe Intermountain is making a run of those in a couple of years if you want one, in HO scale at least. Well, the train is all strung along the Skagit River Bridge now, and I'm not sure what it's going to do next. Well, a few minutes later, we ran the engines back down to Everett and picked up a work train. And there it's crossing the Samish River. No, Stillaguamish River. It's good to have signs on the layout so you can remember where you are. This work train has got 3 crew cars of various kinds, a couple of water cars, a supply box car, and a gravel car, ballast car, which I haven't had a chance to weather yet, but this is the first time we ever ran a work train this long and complicated, so hurrah for that. Here we're coming through Mount Vernon, going across the Skagit River Bridge. And after we ran up over Bellingham and crossed to, Skycomish, we went around the Rainbow Bridge and came down west towards Seattle. And this is the Index Loop, with Mount Index towering over us. Yeah, that's a decent work train. Why not? The only trouble is it doesn't do any switching, any local switching, but that's okay. We love trains of all kinds, right? When I get close up like this with the camera, you can hear the engine sounds a little better. Brian put Scale Sound Systems speakers in his locomotives, and they really make a good impression, add a lot of realism. I don't know why I have that modern Caterpillar tractor up on the top level. I just get a kick out of how bright yellow it looks, and I like machinery. So one of these days I'll take it off the layout. You can keep an eye on that in future videos, see if I removed it yet. I kind of like looking at it. So now let's just do a quick construction update. Dave has been over here building this rock wall, and it really turned out well. He put those individual stones in, and I have some footage of him applying them, which I'll add to a how-to video in the future. And then I'm in the process of installing some icing platforms up in Burlington to support the berry picking plant. So I cut about 2.5 inches of forest off the foam and shifted it back, the foam hillside. So that's a quick update. And I'm showing there, that's where the berry packing plant is going to be. And for now, this is Burr Stewart, wishing you much fun with trains, and we'll see you on the next one.